Right. So good morning all. Welcome to the another class of 8085 microprocessor programming. Right. Let me share my screen. Uh, yeah. So yes, I will just share my screen and we will start with this. Okay. Right. So good morning all. I hope everybody has joined over here. Yeah. So good morning all. Welcome to the another class of 8085 programming. Myself, Dr. N.D. Meshram from Head and Associate Professor, Department of Electronics, Sri Mathura Das Mohta College of Science. Our college has been accredited with A by NAC. So this is the wonderful college, and I guess students really enjoy to learn over here. So starting with our topic today, we are going to continue with another program of square of 8-bit number and the result is 16-bit of 10 numbers which are being stored in the memory location. So we have to take one number at a time and we have to make a square of it and then we have to store it in two memory location at a different address, right? So this is what is the brief view of a program. So that is what we are expecting today to do. To start with, to recall something about the last we have done. Yes, this is a program that we are trying to say right. So ALP for square of 8-bit number. Result is of 16-bit, and the 10 numbers, the square of 10 numbers has to be taken. So we have to write this. Now we have in the last class we have studied about subroutine and subroutine handling. Let us just recall. So subroutine is a special program that can be called in the main program, right? And uh, in that there should be one written instruction and a call instruction in the main program. Written instruction should be written in the end of the subroutine, right? So push and pop are also the instructions that are being used. Now, what is the concept of subroutine? So as I told you that subroutine is actually a small program which is written other than in the main program and which can be called in the main program. So call a subroutine A. So this is a subroutine which is written in some other memory location address, and this is the main program, and here we are calling the subroutine over here, right? So to reduce the size of the main program, we can write such type of programs, and those are called as subroutines. This is the structure of subroutine we have earlier studied, and then we have got through these some of the characteristics of subroutines. So we are going to use today, and we have also studied about so these are call and return instructions. This is how it works. So when you call the program counter switch, uh, and this is a program that we are expecting today to start, right? So we are having 10 numbers which are stored in memory location starting from 6000, and we have to find the square of each number and store on separate memory location. And square is of 2 bits, so we have to 2 bytes. Sorry, so we have to we have to use two memory locations, right? So for that to store 2 bytes of data, right? So we are starting to store from 6500. So this is our program. Now let us see again. We are doing using the same concept of square of a number by consecutive addition method, and this is where we are supposed to save the numbers. So we are saving it in 600, 02, 03, 04. We have taken this number up to 0B, and these are all 10 numbers. And I have shown you that what is to be done over there. So 6001 is there, 03. So we are taking this 03 over there. We have to put this in some of the registers. So we are using the register B for to make it counter. So this is counting in register B, and this is a memory location, and the accumulator, the memory is being added to the accumulator. So every time we are adding it, so for 3 times it will show you 9. So this is the square of 03, and now we have to store this This is actually in the carry is to be stored in register C, and the result is to be stored in accumulator A. And we have to store this in 6502 and 6503 as in this. So the results might be like this. So at 6500, the square of 02 will be like this, 00 and 04. 03 is going to be stored in 02 and 03. Since it is not having any carry, so we have to put it as 00, right? And in some other cases, we are going to save like this. So they will all come over there in line, right? So this is actually the program which we are expecting to do today. Next, let us analyze. Now we have to divide this program in two parts, right? So we'll be writing a subroutine also, and we'll be writing a main program also. So in subroutine, what we will do is uh, we will specifically write the program for square only, right? So getting the number which to be of which square is expected, multiplication of same 8-bit numbers is to be done, carry is to be stored, and this is the logic that we have already studied, that we have to multiply 8-bit numbers by consecutive additions, and then the result is to be stored in two consecutive memory locations. Like this example is like this. So we have used this 0303. We have to multiply this, and the result might be in 2 bytes. So 00 and 09, right? And they have to be stored in the memory location, consecutive memory location like 6502 and 6503. So yeah, this is to be analyzed. So we will be writing two different programs, and we will be calling this subroutine in the main program. So first we will go for to write the subroutine. Let us start with this. So subroutine can be written like this. So we have since the data is in 600, so we have to use some other memory location for that. So we are using this memory location for subroutine is 6300. So we are writing this subroutine from the memory location address at 6300. So let us start. This is a simple program that we have written earlier of a multiplication of two 8-bit numbers having a result of 16-bit, right? So we'll go through that now. Since the data is in memory, we are not loading it here. We will be loading it in the main program, right? So we are expecting that the it is being loaded, and we have to take this data in register B. So both the go in register B also and register in memory also the data is there, right? So we are using this. So we have loaded the counter in register B by the same number. Sorry. In the next, what we'll do is we'll empty the register C for carry. So we are making it C equal to 00. And then we'll start, again, now we'll require that accumulator should be 0. So we will use the same instruction, exarray A, right? So this is 0E00, so it is written in the memory location. And we have emptied the accumulator for addition. Now we'll start from here, the addition. So we'll go add M, right? So add M is there. Somebody needs to join. Yeah. So add M, and add M 86. So we have started to add that number. We have to check for the carry. So if there is no carry, then jump to next. We are not writing the address of that right now, but we'll be writing when we'll be writing the label next. So we have left two memory locations, 6306 and 6307 for that. And we are using 6308. So here we have to increment. If there is a carry, then increment the carry and store it in register C, 0C. Now here we will be at 6309, we'll be decrementing the counter, that is register B. Now here we need to jump after this jump if not carry, right? So we will be putting label over here next. Now we can put the address of the here. So 0963 is the address. Sorry. Then 05 is VCRP. Check for the completion of the process, and if it is not completed, then again repeat the program. Jump if not 0. If B is not 0, then again jump at this position, that is 04. So C2, and then this is the location where we need to jump 6304 and repeat the addition process unless a square is obtained. This is done, and since this is a subroutine, so the last instruction here in the subroutine will be return. So we'll be writing return to the main program, and the opcode of that is C9. So now from this is just a subroutine, and we will call this subroutine in the main program. And after execution of this, just remember this, that the carry is in register C, and the result, that is square, is in the accumulator, right? So these two are there in after execution of the subroutine, and that is what we have to store in the memory location, right? So this is for the subroutine. Now moving ahead towards the main program. So a data bank consists of 10 numbers stored in the memory location starting from 600, as I've earlier we have seen that, and square should be stored in 2 bytes, 2 consecutive memory locations starting from 6500. So this is supposed to be the main program. To analyze this program, what we have to do, we have to retrieve the number to make the square, and then we have to call the program, and then we have to store the results, right? Again, coming back to the main program. So this is the program logic. Square of 8-bit number by consecutive additions is to be done and store the result into consecutive memory locations. And then the example is like this. So we are going to store in 2. This is not the right one, but yeah, we have to store like this. So this is the concept of the program. Now let us start with the main program. So this is D12. A data bank consists of 10 numbers stored in memory location starting from 600, and square should be stored in 2 bytes in 2 consecutive memory locations starting from 6500, right? So let us start with this program. Now this is supposed to be the main program, and we are going to call the subroutine in this main program. So let us start. Now since again the data is stored in the memory location 6000, so we have to use some other memory location. So we are using here at 6200. So the main program now is being written from the memory location address 6200. Earlier we were used to write it from 600, right? Now in this program, since the data is stored in 600, that's why we are starting. So the subroutine is written from the memory location address at 6300, and the main program is we are starting from 6200. The data is stored in 600, and the result is to be stored from 6500. So remember all the memory location address where we need to where the data is, where the program is, where the subroutine is, and where the result is to be stored. This is to be maintained, and this is to be thought of and kept in mind, right? So we are writing the main program from memory location address at 6200. So while execution, we will be starting at this point. So let us start with the program. So initially we have to load the HL pair by the memory location whose address is 600, where the data is actually there. So we are loading it with that memory location address. The opcode is 210060. Now just may maintain the flow of the memory locations, right? So here we will be requiring 3 memory locations: 600, 6200, 6201, and 6202. So the next memory location will be 6203, right? Now here we are going to load the DE pair, as we have loaded it in the data transfer program, right? So we are using LXI DE to store the result. So we are using this. So for that, we will be loading it with the address of 6500, from where we need to store the data, right? So this is there. And yeah, so we have loaded the DE pair to save the result. Again, 6203, 04, and 05. The next location will be 6206. I hope you will maintain this memory location address. Now the next instruction is to load the counter. Now this is very important. So we are going to load the counter in register C. So what I need to tell you here is we are going to use register C twice. We are also using this register C in subroutine. So we should know what we are going to do. So we are using this register C to load the counter to to use it in a loop for 10, because we are having 10 numbers, right? So we are loading this C. So before going to the subroutine, before calling the subroutine, what we need to do is we have to push this data, push the content of register B and register C in the stack pointer. So here we have not actually loaded. We are expecting that we will be using the stack pointer by default. We have not loaded the stack pointer, but yes, you can definitely load the stack pointer also. So yeah, so this is what we have done, push B. Now, since this instruction is related to register pair, the data of register pair BC is being stored in the stack for temporary purpose. So it is going to be stored over there. I told you earlier. So this is for register pair. So the opcode is C5, and what we have done, we have stored it for some time. This is not the actual D. We have temporarily stored the data of C. Now we can use register C and register B as well, right? So now we can call the subroutine. So we are calling subroutine, and which is, we have to specify the memory location address where the subroutine is written. So 6300 is the address of that subroutine. So we are calling that. The opcode is CD, and the memory location address 0063. Right? So we have called the subroutine over here. Now, when the subroutine will be executed, it will return back to the main program. So the next instruction here we are using is exchange. Now, why we have done exchanges? We have exchanged the contents of register pair DE and register pair HL, so that we can store the result which is obtained. Now, the result is a register C carry and register A, that is accumulator. So we are having both the result as well as carry in register A and C respectively. So we will be loading that. So first we will load the carry. So by that we can write like this: move C to M. We have loaded the carry. So opcode is this. So we have stored the carry. Now what we will have to do? We have to use the next memory location. So we can use this next memory location like INX H, since the addresses are being changed. So HL now contains 6500. So while incrementing, it will have 6501, right? So increment H, then this is 23. Then next memory location. Now we have to store the result that is stored in the accumulator. So we will move the contents of accumulator to memory. Now it is loaded in 6501. So the result is stored in 6501. Next result is stored. Now what we will do, we'll again increment it for the next. So I will again increment this. So now the HL pair is having 650001 and 02. So for the next result or carry, we have to increment this. So it is being done. Now we can again exchange the data. So DE and HL are being exchanged. So HL is now containing 6000 and DE is now containing 6502. Yeah, right. So this is there. Now what we have to do, we have to again increment for the next possible number. So this is, I guess, 6501 is the next number. So I have incremented it. One job is over. Let me check now. Now I will have to use register C, right? So again, I will require this data 0A. So I will again pop this data. So pop B means whatever we have stored temporarily in the stack is to be retrieved back. So pop B is there. So we have restored the counter again. Now we can decrement the counter, decrement C, and now we will check whether it is 0 or not. So we will check it, jump if not 0. Now where we need to jump, we will need to jump in the back. So we'll put the label over there. So back should be here. So again, we have to push this data. So if it is not completed, then it will go in the loop and proceed for 10 times. And then at the end, if it completes, the 10 numbers are completed, then we will have the last instruction as halt. So here we are going to write the halt instruction, but in subroutine at the end, we are going to write the return instruction. I guess this is complete. Again, I will repeat it for you that we are writing main program at the memory location 6200. We have the contents as 600. Subroutine we have written in 6300, and the data or the result is to be stored in the memory location 6500. And from there, so yeah, so we have done this. The program is over. Let us check one more time what we have done. So let us try this. So yes, uh, okay. So we have done this. This is for the subroutine that we have done. So after that, it will return back. And yeah, then we have analyzed this. We have written this 6200. This is the main program. We have loaded HL by 600. We have loaded DE pair by 6500. We have loaded register C with 0E, that is the counter. We have pushed that data to for temporary storage in the stack. Then we have called the subroutine. We have exchanged the DE and HL content. So then we have moved the carry to C, and then again incremented. We have moved the result in the memory location, and we have incremented for the next result. Exchanged again. We have the next number to be squared, and then we have to pop B. We have to again retry back the counter, and then we have to decrement the counter. We have to check whether the count is over or not, and then again jump back to the main. And if it is completed, then hold. So this is the program for say this is the program for square and for the numbers which are being stored serially. So let us try this again, and I will stop sharing my screen, and I need to show you on the microprocessor kit. So let us start this. So if you have that, or if you have stored this in over there, I request you all to kindly check whether I have written this correctly or not. Right. So this is the main program. Now let us start with this. So I'm starting with this. So this is reset, substitute memory, and I hope I have written the program from 6300, right? Oh, yeah. So 6300, I have written here 46, then 0E, 00AF, then 86, D2. I guess I can share this. Yeah. So I hope it is visible to you all. It is in 6300. Yeah. So D2, then we are having 09. I hope it is visible. 630C, then 05, C2, 04, 63, C9. That is written. Now let us check the program for the main program, right? So again, we will reset, substitute memory. The main program is written in 6200. Reset. So this is 210060. Loaded HL with 600. DE with 6500. That is 110065. Then we are loading counter 0E0A. Then we are pushing this data of C, E5. Then calling the subroutine CD 0063, exchange EB 71, 23, 77. Then we are having 23, EB 23 again. Then C1, popping the data of BC. Then DCRC 0D, jump if not 0C2, 0862, 76. So this is the program. Now let us see what we have written in 6000. So we have given the data as 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09, 0A, 0B. And I hope these are the 10 numbers so that we have written in from the memory location 600. Next, let me check what is there in 6500. I will just rub it all. So it is all 00, 00, and I have made everything 00 over here, whatever is the result. Yeah, so I hope we have completed this 00. So now reset, go. I will try to execute this program. Yeah. So I will try to execute this program. Reset, go to the memory location. We have written it at 6200. Yes. So, oh, sorry. Reset, go 6200 and yeah, execute. Okay. Now it has been executed. Now we'll check the memory location. So check for that, substitute memory, check memory location 6500. Yeah. So the data is 0004. Yes, this is the first square, that is of 2. And then we have, this is 9. Then this is 10 for 4. This is 19 for 5, 25 in decimal, and 19 for hexadecimal. Then for 6, it is 24, 36, right? 00, and this is 31 again. So this is for 7. I hope 49 is the, yeah, in decimal. Then this is 40, 40, that A is the square of 8, that is 64. Then we are having square of 9, that is 51. I hope the square of 9 in decimal is 81, right? So this is 51 in hexadecimal. Then we are having 10. So this is the 10 number, that is 64. I guess this is right. So this program works, but yeah, definitely this program is not going to work on our mobile because it is more than 100. So it was showing some error, but on the microprocessor kit it works. I hope you have understood this program. If you have any questions regarding this, the platform is ready to answer. Ha, Shobha, go ahead.
Screen.
Yeah.
Can you please open that screen?
Which one?
The question where we had the program written over there. We have to take a screenshot.
Yeah. Definitely. I will. Just give me a moment. Yes. So which one you want? Subroutine and
Yes,
both,
this
no?
one right now.
Yeah. So this is for the subroutine, and I guess this is for the subroutine. I guess you have taken the clip.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And wait for a second. Yes, this one is for the main program. So this is the main program, right? So this is the main program that you have to write. So this is the lengthiest program that we have, and we still more to come. We are having greater than or equal to, smaller than, and ascending and descending order. These were the largest programs over there in our microprocessor. I hope you have taken the screenshot. So at the end, thank you very much for listening. Definitely, I'm going to load this video, but I need to know why we are having the less attendance in the class. So my concern was that. So let me stop sharing my screen. Yeah. Hopefully from 10th to 17th, 16th, there will be no classes as far as Diwali vacations are concerned. 17th, up to 17th, we are having Diwali vacation holidays. So we'll be taking classes after 17th, right? So whatever next will come, we'll take class. Hopefully, I am expecting to take class tomorrow also. So be there, present over there. Okay. So thank you very much. I hope everybody is doing good at their homes, and I wish you are healthy, and I expect that everything is okay at your end. Thank you very much for attending this class, and go through my YouTube channel and view the more videos of 8085 programming as well. Thank you very much. Stay safe, stay home, take care, stay healthy. Take care. Bye. See you soon.